Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. It's Elijah Erebo, Araya. I have Domonique Lammers. How you doing today, Queen?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're here to share, your success. Congratulations on this tremendous success. How does it feel?
Feels unbelievable.
Mm.
It does.
Wow. To get your pro card, to be the first, in bikini. Man.
Right?
Wow, can you explain to us how has this journey been so far? The prep, the peak week, the day before the show, and
From
the
the
show?
last interview?
Yes.
Oh, a lot changed.
Mm.
I think it was, we made a few adjustments that really had my body just snap, really. And then peak week that was something else.
Wow.
I feel like you have to go through peak week to really understand peak week.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I would do it again, but
yeah.
peak week was
peak week, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then after that, the day before the show till, when you're on stage, everything.
Oh, the day before the show? Want to go to that part?
Oh, yes, please. Let
All right,
our
we'll go to the day
know.
before the show.
Yes.
All right, so I think, with this whole entire journey, you have a vision in your head and you carry that vision, with you. Like, I want to wear this suit. I want my hair to look like this. I want, and I want to be like this. And for me, it was like, I just wanted to be my true self and I wanted to have fun.
Yes.
So the day before the show, it was like the last day of peak week. And oh my God, I couldn't even read text messages right. You see that?
Yes.
No fish. I was like, anyways. So it was, I'm really big on my hair. So the hair ladies, I had plan A, plan B, plan C. And they all kept falling through. Like I would show up to get my hair done and she would cancel, no one would show up or whatever happened.
Yeah.
So it's the night before the show, right?
Okay.
The last lady that was supposed to do my hair, she canceled on me.
Oh, wow.
So I remember I could not stop crying. I cried for like 8 hours straight. Like, I had like my team, like my females around me, and they could not console me because I could not stop crying because I was like, I can't go on the show. Like, I can't do the show, because like in my head it was just like, I worked this hard and like I want my vision, like I already know what I want. So I was crying and oh, it was bad.
Wow.
But then, Saya, he talked to me, I was like, and then we figured it out.
Okay.
We figured it out. The morning of the show, we figured it out.
Wow.
How to draw on a wig, but you see how it looks.
Yes. Wow.
So that was the day before the show. And then, we went out to eat and everything. And I was just like really excited. And I think it was the tan for me the night before. Because like I was getting tanned and like, I always go back to how I was when I was a kid, when I couldn't do certain things. I couldn't have certain things, or like I felt really like restricted, where I was. And I'm like, damn, Dominique, look, like, we're getting a tan right now. Like, it was like really surreal because I never thought that like I would leave, Brockton, where I was from, and I never thought that I would be able to just take it there, and then just seeing how everything came together and how, like I was like, how I followed through, I started something and now I'm finishing it.
Yeah.
And that's something that, in my family, like, it's just really rare of any of us to do. We usually start something and we quit, we change, oh, I don't like this, I don't want to do this. But that was the day before the show.
Wow.
And then, I was getting the routine down, and in my head I was like, I just want to, it was just a blessing, and I was just grateful. Like, I felt like it was a win for me just to make it on stage.
Yes. Wow.
And because I definitely got chin checked the day before, and because the whole entire prep and the journey of the meal plans and the workouts and all of that was like very smooth to me. Like I figured out how to work around the schedule of my son and like really make it happen.
Yeah.
And then the day before the show, I could feel, the universe is like, oh, you thought it was gonna be that easy, and it wasn't that easy, So I definitely got shin-shacked, and it was like, now we're really gonna make you work for it,
Wow.
So that was how it was. And then I had to stand on everything I said, about faith and about, having good energy and just thinking positive thoughts
Yes.
and everything. So
Wow. So there's definitely the day before the show that it was.
It was like crashing. Everything was crashing down. Like I was very emotional. Like I couldn't. Like as it was, I didn't think. Because we were talking about pro card, I was like, I just want to make it on stage, Because
Yes.
when I showed up the morning of, everyone had their hair, and everyone was ready. Everyone was ready, and I wasn't ready. I was like, oh, thank God, like I go last, and we were still cutting it close,
Wow.
trying to figure out how, to do the hair, the makeup, and we had to get re-tan. There's so much behind the scenes, like little extra things we have to do. So, but I told myself like, I wasn't getting on stage until it was the product. It was Domonique, I wasn't going anything. I wasn't showing up anything less than myself.
Yes.
And that was the thing. And I think yeah, I definitely did that.
Wow.
When I look back and I look at the pictures and I look at the video, and I'm like in awe of myself that like, damn, like I really took it there.
Yes.
Like
yes.
I took it to like that level.
Wow.
So.
Wow. No, like is if you didn't share this part, thank you very much for sharing this, this part and this story, because I didn't know what happened, and a lot of people didn't, but it seems like you really, they say everyone has a plan until to fight, right? Until you get punched in the face, right?
I showed up to the show.
Wow.
I showed up and I was still in a bonnet. The night before, I was still in a bonnet, hair braided up, like. It was a mess. Like, yeah, it was a mess. I was like, oh, how am I?
I mean, your self-image is everything.
Yeah, it is self-image, but I don't play with it when it comes to my hair.
Wow. So I'll say this, right? After this emotional roller coaster, the night before, and the way you presented your complete package on stage, it was you left nothing untouched out there, man. You brought your story, like your physique was just out of this world, like even the makeup, the hair, everything. Like I did, like again, like I said, we your fans, we didn't know like none of this was going on behind the scene, right? And there is definitely a story behind, to tell, about this. But the moment you step on stage, what was that like?
Well, I was stressed. No, I think because I was hungry, I was tired. Like my body was cramping, because you could see. I ain't gonna see it, but I was slipping. Like I was really cramping. But I think before this, I was like, you know what? Honestly, I was like, F it, just have fun. At this point, I was like, don't think about, the end result. Like, let's just have fun. And really enjoy the fact that that you are here. Yeah. It's just a blessing that I made it there, like on stage, and just financially, spiritually, emotionally, like every single level. Like I think about, like I always go back to where I was just a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before I joined the Marine Corps, when I was a kid. I go back to all of those times and all of those moments, and I'm like, damn, like I love like, I was like looking around, I was like, damn, look at where the F we're at, Dominique. Like I look at, I was like, who would have thought?
Wow.
And then I think for me that's like really empowering, because I'm like, who would have thought you would be here? Because I didn't think I would be here.
Yes.
And when you have dreams and you have like little visions in the back of your head, but you always feel like, oh, it's not the right time, or I'm just not there yet, I can't do it, like look at, I'm like, look at your mental state, like, it's just not the time. And then someone told me, like, God will heal you before He'll elevate you, and I'm really grateful. Like, I think, the past year, like, I focused really hard on my mental health and my spiritual health, and I really got myself to a good enough place where I was able to, do a prep for a show.
Yes,
So,
yes. Wow, that is.
to answer your question, that's how it was.
Wow.
Let's go, dog!
Domonique's joining us from Oceanside, California.
Oh, baby!
Oh my
She
God!
Oh, baby!
trains out of Camp Pendleton. This is her very first competition.
Yes!
She's in the United States Marine Corps.
Yes!
Let's go, dog! Let's go, dog!
And she is mom of Apollo, her 2-year-old.
Yes!
Domonique Lammers.
Oh!
Yes!
Get him, baby! Get him, baby!
Yes, Queen! Yes!
Baby! Hit him! Ah!
Yes!
Ah! Get some!
Oh.
Ah! Get him!
Yes! Yes! You go, Queen!
No, you truly showed that side, because the walk, your tea walk, the routine itself, it was
Oh, it's
just,
me.
oh yeah.
It's me, because they, bikini, they try to, make me be, like, glitzy and, like,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
cheesy and,
Yeah.
like, like, I want to say pretty, but just not me, because,
Yeah.
like, I was like, no, I'm going to be who I feel like I am,
Yes.
and I think that's what I wanted to do, because, my whole life, like, not my whole life, I've always been intense. I've always been very passionate.
Mhm.
I'm sensitive, like, emotionally, but I'm, like, really, like, just an intense female. So I think after so many people trying to dilute me and, extinguish me and shrink me and say, like, don't act like this, don't be this, don't do this,
Yeah.
and then I was, I just told myself, like, no, I just want to be myself. So.
Yes. Wow. There's really power in that, like I said again, from the very moment you stepped on the stage, your presence was just everything, it was everything. So, my next question to you is, like, now as a professional athlete, competing against the best of the best in the world, what is that, you think there's a mental switch between, competing as an amateur and now just even prepping as a professional?
No, because I feel like I belong with the professionals, to be honest. So that's just my mindset, like, oh, I belong here. So
Yes.
I think now it's just having, the pro card really back you up.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, just, not playing any games, and if you really want something, just going after it.
Yes. Wow. You belong here. This is my tribe of professionals,
Yeah, I was like, I don't belong here.
Yes. So through looking back at everything, the whole entire process, right? The whole entire journey, you shared with us how, emotional, self-love, understanding and learning more about yourself. In the whole, to put everything together, what was the biggest lesson you've learned throughout this process?
Self-respect. I don't even want that whole self-love thing is, like, kind of overrated to me. It's self-respect, because I think a lot of people, it's like love, right? A lot of people say, like, oh, I love you, I love you, and they think they show love, or they show love, but they don't respect you. And for me, it's, like, really big on self-respect. And when you respect who you are, what you are, and you respect your craft and everything that you do, and you respect what you have, and respect your vision, everything about you, you know, you just show respect. And then I think I wish I did that earlier. Because I look at I look at the picture because, you know, I got to get it a canvas, and I look at this, and I look at everything I've done. And I look at, and then I think about everyone I ever put on a pedestal, you know, sometimes higher than me, and I show them, you know, a great deal of respect. I knock them all down, and now Dominique's up there.
Yes.
And I look at myself, and I'm like, I salute her. Shit. Any sign of respect,
Yes.
you know, I kneel to her. Anything, I give it to
Yes.
her because I'm like, damn, like I really did it.
Yeah.
You know, if you knew the story, like when they say like out the mud, like I did
Wow.
it. And I wish I gave myself that respect earlier. You know, I wish it didn't take for me to, you know, reach a level that I never, you know, reached before, to show myself respect. No, to really respect myself and really put myself like up there. You know, like right now I see myself up there. Like
Yes.
I don't show anyone more respect than I do to myself.
Yes. Yes.
And to me that's key. And that, to me, that's bigger than, you know, self-love.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That
They
is
try to
very
say it's
much
the same thing, but it's not the same thing.
Yes.
It's not the same thing.
Wow.
Respect and love are two different things.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think that's one thing I should have done. Like,
Wow. No, that is big. You know, thank you very much for that. You know, it's self-image. You know, like, you know what you know. If you don't look at yourself high, if, you know, whatever you think that is special about people, you have it also, right? And you're like, okay, yeah, I'm up here. You know, because if you don't look at yourself like, oh, I'm up here, then you'll never get up there, right? Wherever you look at yourself, you know, that is where you will be at. So.
and you tell yourself, like, I tell myself every day, I'm it. You know, and even one day, like, even because you're not gonna love yourself. I think after the show, like, I didn't feel like I didn't love myself, you know, because you're gonna get humbled one way or another. And for me, it was just, you know, going back home. But it was, you're not always gonna feel like, oh, I love me, you know. Some days I really don't rock with Dominique. I really don't. Like, some days I'm just not feeling it, you know. And that's when that respect comes in. And it's like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. And that's when you really have, you know, those standards and those rules for yourself that kind of force you to show respect for yourself.
Wow. Thank you very much for that. You know, I you know, that leads me to the very last question I have for you. You know, is if there is, you know, one piece of advice you have for someone, you know, out there, you know, someone watching this right now, you know, watching you, you know, talk, you know, in this manner, and watching you achieve this amount of success in your life, and they have any doubts within themselves, you know, what would that advice be?
My advice, it would be to just go after it. You know, you can't think about the how. No, you just can't really go. Just don't overthink it and just do it, because when you choose a direction and you choose something you want to do and you just go after it, things will naturally fall into its place. But you just have to, you know, light the spark. You know, you just have to get yourself in motion, really. And just go. And I think that was for me. Like, I was always so scared, and I was always like, oh, I don't want to do this. You know, what is it? You know, more scared to fail. But now I'm like, once you do one thing, and then now you're like, okay, if I did this, then I know I could do this. If I stuck with this process, then I know that I can do any other process. So
Yes.
I think it would just be, find something and just do it. Don't stay stagnant. Don't stay complacent. You know, just find something and just do it. Because that's what I did. And
Here we are.
yeah.
Wow, thank you very much for that. Really, like, thank you very much for sharing. And, you know, I know everyone listening and watching, you know, we your fans, we know, you know, the next time you step on stage is definitely gonna be another mind-blowing experience where you beat the previous physique. We know that, and we can't wait to see you go back on stage again. How soon is that? Just curious.
Oh, you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know all my business. But,
Okay. You see when you see. Okay.
When I pop out, what I'm saying? You know what's up.
Wow. Hey, man, look, you're talking success, that's all it takes. But thank you very much for this. Really do appreciate it, all right? Thank you. There you go.
Thank you, AFAF. Hoorah!